welcome to episode 8 of the Deartomeknits podcast. Oh my gosh, those lights are already driving me nuts. But I did not want to do it blind again. My name is Dearny, and I am a knitter living in southern Indiana in the United States. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and if you're a first-time viewer, welcome, and you picked a great episode to start tuning in because I've got some really fun stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks, or a couple of episodes, I guess, and yeah, so I'm going to cover those probably more towards the end of the episode. Yeah, I don't really have much. My husband and I did get to go out for a belated wedding anniversary trip. We stayed overnight in French Lick, Indiana. There's a really great historical casino and hotel out there, and an elephant encounter, so I got to wash and love on an elephant for a little bit, and so I obviously got some great pictures and video of that, which I will tack on to the credits. And yeah, not much else has been going on. Oh, the baby has weaned, so that's exciting. That kind of facilitated our trip a little bit because I was able to stay away from him overnight since he didn't need to nurse. So yeah, it's bittersweet. He's my last baby. He's baby number 4, so we're done. And actually he was the only one to nurse for more than just a couple months, so yeah, but I was ready to be done. And he's been doing really great, so that's exciting. The kids go back to school tomorrow, so yay! I am so excited. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of mom guilt to say it, but oh, okay, if I hunch over like a little old lady, then my glasses don't look so bad. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of mom guilt to say it, but I am a much better everything when the kids are in school part of the day. I'm a better mom because I'm not as stressed out, and oh my goodness, this is driving me nuts. I'm a better mom because I'm not stressed out, and I'm a better wife because I'm not stressed out, and I'm a better housekeeper because there's less people making a mess in the house for less of the day, and yeah, I'm just a better me because I can you know, keep up with life better. So yeah, it's gonna be really nice to have them in school, although I don't know how much less stressful it'll be now because I do still have a toddler at home, and he's at that age where basically I just chase him around cleaning up. Like, while I'm cleaning up the last mess he made, he's making a new one. So I don't know if that'll end up being a very easy to keep up with experience or not. Anyway, I have been doing some knitting, just a little bit of knitting, you know. I don't have any finished objects, but I have a couple of almost finished objects. So I will show you the one that is closest to completion because literally I could have this thing done in 20 minutes. But for whatever reason, I just haven't done it. So these are my sister's socks. Oh, I meant to bring a blocker down. I don't think I don't have a blocker handy. But I just need to Kitchener the toes. I just need to close the toes and then they are done. They are still very different socks, although this one finally did want to pick up a little bit of gray, which is good because I'm not crazy OCD, but trying to get the glare off my glasses lenses. I'm not crazy OCD, but it was making me really mad that this one was staying almost from start to finish the same color, and this one was so radically different in color. But yeah, this one started to pick up a little gray at the bottom, and I think it'll be fine. She already knows that they're not gonna match, so it'll be okay. So yeah, all I need to do is Kitchener the toes and weave in ends and block them. And they've been like this for like over a week, so I don't know what my deal is, but they'll get done. I've got time. Christmas is not coming up anytime soon, so relatively speaking. And then my next whip is my brioche cowl for my other sister. The socks were Knit Picks Chroma Twist in the Sandpiper colorway. I'm not sure if they brought Sandpiper back, but they do have Chroma Twist online right now because it's kind of a like it comes and goes type thing like Felici. So they do have it right now because I got my catalog last week and it was in there. So if you like that yarn, go grab some. Although, like I said, I don't know if they have Sandpiper. I didn't check. So this is my brioche cowl. That is a mess right now for some reason. I was just working on this while I was getting the baby down for nap so that I could come record. So, okay, so this is what I've got. It's pretty nice and long. I've got about this much left. This is definitely going to go before this, so I'll probably just go until I run out of this and then bind off in this. This is Jubilee, Jubilee sock in the seaweed colorway. It's 100% superwash merino. This is merino nylon. It is the Stop Mowing My Strawberries. I think last time I said don't mow my strawberries. It's Stop Mowing My Strawberries on in Rose Hill Yarns 3-ply fingering. I think it's a 3-ply. It's fingering. Anyway, okay. I'm all over the place. So yeah, I've been chipping away at that, and it's very unlike me to have more than 2 whips at a time. I usually like to have socks to keep in the car for like when I'm out and about, and then I have like a project that I'm working on. But I was just getting crazy fed up with the cowl. You know, I mean, it's just brioche ribs, so it's almost kind of as annoying as stockinette in the round, because once you get the hang of it, it's just like, there's not really a lot of interest. And even though you are switching colors, which kind of, you get that instant gratification of like, oh, I'm already back to the beginning of the round, I get to switch colors kind of thing, I still just was like, this is never gonna end. I kept weighing the balls of yarn like, oh, I've got to have like 20 grams left now. Oh my gosh, I still have like 45 grams. Like, it was just like, this is never gonna go away. I'm gonna be working on this project till I die. Which, I mean, if you think about it, so I knit it in the light green, and I was like 100 grams in at that point, because there's 100 grams of each color. So I was already 100 grams in at that point and had to rip that all out. And then, so I reknit it, and then I got probably up to like 100 grams again, and I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get smart, and I'm gonna start doing both of the colors around at the same time, which I gotta brag on myself for a second. Like, I grabbed a hold of the two-handed one like nothing. Like, I was kind of proud. I was very, not even kind of, like, I was super proud of myself. I just started like zooming along, but I got maybe like an inch in, and I'm like, okay, my tension's great, the stitches all look great, but it still doesn't match everything underneath, and it's noticeable and it looks bad. So I ripped it out, and I got a Norwegian thimble, the little, which I don't think I brought it down. No, I don't think I have it down here. But you know, just a little silver ring with the little notches on it that you can run your 2 colors through. And I'm like, okay, that's gonna be better because, you know, I knit continental, so I'll just have them both. But it looked even worse. So I knit a couple inches twice and ripped that out. So that's, you know, I'm just like, I've knit this cow twice already. So I'm just basically just like working for the weekend on that one. I'm so ready to be done. And it's going to be amazing. When I finish it, I'm going to be proud of it. I'm going to be dying to, like, honestly, I probably won't wait till Christmas. I asked my sister that's getting the socks. I was like, okay, well, do you want to wait till Christmas or do you want them early? She's like, I don't care, but I'm just saying that some cozy socks in the fall would be pretty nice. I'm like, we are the worst. None of us can handle giving or receiving gifts. We're just like, all the gifts now, don't wait. It'll be fine. You can just buy more. I'll buy more. That's fine. But anyway, so all that to say, I was like, screw this. I'm casting out another project. And I'm glad that I did. I was going to cast it on anyway. And then I kind of brought up to the designer that maybe it could be a cow. And I've never done a knit along before. This is my very first knit along and I'm super excited. The shawl pattern is gorgeous, first of all. Second of all, part of the proceeds go to charity, which I'm super in love with. And the whole message behind the shawl is just amazing. So, okay, so this is Toby Roxanne Designs Special Sport. It's 100% superwash merino in the colorway Warm Glow. So it's kind of like a periwinkle, and it has little kind of like rust speckles in it. Really lightly speckled. Not crazy, which that's kind of my... Sparse speckles are my... Like, I'm in love with sparse speckles right now. So I'm really excited about this. This periwinkle blue is just like so peaceful. I love it. So, okay, so she has, in the pattern, she has, you can do a stockinette body with the lace, this really pretty undulating leaf lace edge on it, or you can do a garter body. So I'm doing the garter body because, I mean, who doesn't love squish, really? This is all I have right now. The cow did just start, like, this past weekend. So like the very beginning of August. And I'm not sure how long it runs, but I'm pretty sure it's for a little bit. So definitely check that out. The designer of this, her name's Sophia, and her podcast and designs are under the Drunk Knitter. And oh my gosh, she's amazing. And she's a Hoosier, so I'm trying to convince her to meet up with me at this Irish festival that there is in Indianapolis in about a month to drink, eat, drink, and knit stuff. But yeah, this is really soft. I love it. I got this yarn from Knit Crate, which I do not get a Knit Crate any longer. I started doing a different mystery, like, monthly thing, and I will show that to you in my stash enhancement. But yeah, so this pattern's really pretty. And I definitely, obviously, I'll link all the stuff. She does have a Ravelry group, where you can participate in the cowl, or if you don't do the Ravelry group thing, I just, like, in the past couple weeks started getting on the forums and everything. Then you can just use the hashtag #JoyShawlCow on Instagram to take part. And like I said, I don't remember when it ends, but there will be you know, like a prize at the end of it. She's got a great sponsor. So yeah, I think that's it. This bag's just kind of laying here. I don't think there's anything in it though. So yeah, oh, I forgot to talk about what I'm wearing. So this is my Mayo shawl. This is knit out of Poppyput yarn. I do not remember the colorways. One is like navy blue, and one is like that lovely sparse speckle that I like with it's got like red and brown and black speckles on like a off-white base. This was my first ever brioche project, and it was so much fun. So it's a Mayo by Knit Graffiti. Leslie Robinson, which I love all of her work. I really want to knit one of her Star Wars shawls eventually. But I've got so much other stuff that I need to do. How am I only 16 minutes in? Okay, so I do have a stuff ton of stash enhancement. This, like, it's an embarrassing amount of wool piggery that I have to show you. I'm trying very hard to, like, I don't want to be like all the way on this side of the screen, but if I could just get that light off my glasses. But yeah, I have a lot, so I will get into it. So I asked my parents if you could have something knit for me, knit by me for Christmas, what would you like? I offered the suggestion of socks for my mom. I was like, well, I know you don't do the shawl thing, but what about like a cardigan? And I sent her some like cropped cardigan type patterns. So she decided, oh, well, maybe like actually like the Shisui shrug would be good. And then she was like, no, if I don't like it, I won't wear it, and then I'll feel bad. And I'm like, okay, fine. She's like, well, what about a blanket? What about like a 50-inch by 30-inch blanket? I'm like, what? Mother! So, fortunately, she wants it in cotton, and she's used to crochet blankets. Which means she's used to a thicker blanket because, you know, the, like, cluster stitches on crochet are pretty lofty, right? So I was like, okay, well, she wants just like a garter stitch blanket. I am gonna hold cotton double. She wants cotton. She wants a heavy blanket. We love our weighted blankets in our very anxious family. So I have like the heaviest, most amazing cotton blanket. Oh, it is so wonderful. I knit it, or I crocheted it when I was like a teenager. And it's my favorite. So I'm holding just good old-fashioned peaches and cream double. I haven't swatched yet, so I don't know what size needle I'm going to use. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't even take a guess. I'll probably start with a 10 and see how that goes. But I'm a loose knitter, so a 10, like most people are probably like, I knit on a 10 single. But yeah, this, if I was making a dishcloth, I would use like a 4. So yeah, I'll probably start with a 10, see what happens. Anyway, so there's that. Incidentally, my father wants a colorwork cardigan, and I'm not talking like colorwork detail. The whole freaking thing is colorwork. The sleeves are the colorwork ribbing, and then there's like a square motif up both sleeves. The body, it's steeped like, I'm like, I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying that's gonna be your Christmas present in like 3 years, okay? That's not, I can't make that for you for Christmas. And the same with the blanket. I'm like, Mom, I can't make that for you for like Christmas. So she's getting something else for Christmas and getting a blanket for like whatever whenever I get it done, because I'm not even gonna like hunker down and focus on it either. It's just gonna be like when I pick it up, because that's bananas. Just like 50 inches of garter stitch. Okay, Mom. Okay. So, yeah, now some fun. Okay, so while we're on I'll just go ahead and stay on the subject of Christmas knitting. My brother is a rock climber, so he wants me to design him a chalk bag. I guess like they use chalk, so they keep it in a little sack on their belt. And he wants me to design him one. So I'm gonna have to make a fabric inner layer, and then he wants this on the outside because it is the colors of his favorite hockey team, which is, I think, in Las Vegas. No, I don't know anything about hockey. All I know is these are the colors. So this is, I don't remember if I showed this on the podcast before. I've had this in my possession before. I sent it to my last fiber share partner. And I want just, like, I need a whole room of this. Oh, this is, Oink, God, I'm twisting this thing all around. Oink Pigments, let me see if I can, yeah. Oink Pigments in her Targhee sock base. Targhee sock. And the colorway is called Bee's Knees. This is hand dyed in Indianapolis, so of course I love it. I hate the stupid country, but I'm actually super proud of my state. I love being from Indiana. I just wish I lived in Indianapolis. I miss my city home. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna be designing him a chalk bag. So that'll be fun and interesting. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, so I know like what the basic components are of a chalk bag. So this should be cool. Should be fun. Okay. Let me see what I got here. So interestingly, the day we left to go to French Lick to see the elephants, at the end of the driveway as we were pulling out, I was like, hey, husband, I need to check the mail. So I got in the mail. Look what came. Isn't that so sweet? I was like, yeah, that's perfect timing. We're going to see elephants, and I got my elephant yarn. So this, oh, it's so beautiful. And once again, it's that sparse speckle that I love right now. So this is the Blame Fox colorway from Black Elephant Yarns. She's out of the UK. It's a fingering weight, 75-25, good for socks. So yeah, I love it. It's gorgeous. Like, I love the intermingling of the pink and blue right there, and how it kind of gets a little purple in some places. Just so pretty. So pretty. So yes. And I think these guys could be friends, don't you? I do. I think so. They're almost the same. This one has blue and this one doesn't. And this one has yellow and this one doesn't. But, well, it kind of does a little bit. Yeah, there's some like peachy, orangey, yellow, pinky goodness right there. Anyway, this is from Dusty Dimples, who is also in the UK, I believe. And it's her If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out colorway. She doesn't have her version name written on here. But yeah, this is her Tits Out Collective colorway, and I love it. That yellow, I mean, hot dang. That is my yellow, okay? I don't, yeah. I have two yellows. I have mustard yellow and like, you're gonna go blind yellow. Those are my yellows. Don't ask me why. But yeah, I don't mess around when it comes to yellow. It's either poop yellow or blind yellow. That might be the title of this episode because I like that. Poop yellow or blind yellow? That is a really hard thing to do, is find the title for episodes. It's probably the most difficult part of most podcasting weeks for me, is like, what am I gonna name this sucker? Anyway, okay, so, and then I got one more Tits Out Collective colorway. This is from Bayou City Yarn Company. And hers is called If I Want Exposure, I Will Get My Fake Tits Out. And I mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I mentioned that it was really important to me to bring a layer of inclusivity to this fundraiser, to make sure that we include women who have gone through mastectomies, so don't have tits potentially, or women who have transitioned from male to female and that kind of thing. Just, I don't know, it was really important to me. And a point that she, let me see, Shelby, her name's Shelby, the dyer behind Bayou City Yarn Co. A point that she made is that we also should support businesses who support all of those women. So the charity that she chose to donate to is Planned Parenthood, which I think is amazing. I'm a huge supporter of Planned Parenthood. They were there for me as a teenager and young adult. I couldn't have been on birth control as, you know, a teen and young adult without them. So I strongly believe that they are doing great work. And like she said, they serve all of those communities. You know, you can go there and get your breast screening. They don't care if you're male to female, female to male. You know, they will take care of you and give you the health care that you need, and support your sexual freedom. And I think that is amazing. So yeah, I was very excited. I thought this was a great colorway too. It's super different, obviously, from all the others. And these colors are very me. I like kind of the same as the yellows. I like really nice muted cozy tones like this, and then I like in your face, you're about to go blind colors. Those are my two favorites. So I really like this, and I'm extremely happy to support this dyer and also the charity that she chose to donate to. So, and while we're on the subject of Miss Shelby Hamden, she did a little distashing this past week. So I helped her out. That's what we're gonna say. As if I didn't have enough fingering weight cotton, 100% cotton yarn, I bought 8 balls of this stuff. So this is Jubilee Yarn Minnesota Cotton Select. It's just 100% fingering cotton yarn. And it is in the Vapor Gray colorway. It's almost like, it's grayish. It's grayish. Like if you look at it, you're like, oh, that's tan. Wait a minute, is that tan? No, it's gray. Is it? Yeah, so it's one of those. It's like in the middle. I like that. I like colors that you're like, could argue with people over what color it is. But anyway, so I have 8 balls of this. And I don't know what it wants to be. I just bought it. It was not very expensive. And I liked it very much. So there you go. Oh, stuffed some bills in there. I need to make sure I don't lose those. Okay, and then I will show one more thing. So, the Knit Girls, Leslie and Laura, hosted their annual knitting retreat a couple weeks ago, or maybe I don't think it was last weekend. I think it was not However, okay, so it was in the past couple weeks, right? And Amy of the Stranded podcast went, and she happened to leave behind some yarn at House of Yarn in Nashville, Tennessee, and posted online like, hey, if you want this, they've got it online, you better hurry. And I'm like, oh, I need some, and that way I won't have to pay overseas shipping and crap. Oh my gosh, I gotta get it. So I went through and I went for my favorites first, and I tried to get 2 skeins because I wanted 2 skeins so I could do something with it and not just have like a lonely single skein in my stash, like of this, unicorn of mine yarn. So I went for my favorites first, and none of them I could get 2 skeins. So then I just started going for colorways that I knew I would use, because there are a bunch, like I really like the colors. Okay, so like flamingo legs. Like I love flamingo legs, but they'll make great socks. I would not knit a garment out of them. And I wanted something that I would make a garment with. So I went for this one. Stranded on her Fjord base. BFL nylon, I think. Yes, 80/20 BFL nylon in the favorite ice cream colorway. So it has some, like the turquoise, and then let me see if I can, yeah, kind of a bluish, more towards the blue speckle, but really sparse. That could be the name of my episode today too, sparse, because that's apparently my favorite word now. But yeah, just, oh, look at that. It's kind of plain, but I don't know, I really like it. I love this color. My sister, if she sees it, will be like, you're making something for me in that, because this is her most favorite color ever. But it's mine. It is for me. Ooh. So I'm thinking I could match this up with so very many colors. I mean, I could go purple, I could go pink, I could go blue, I could maybe even do red, I don't know. Orange. I mean, like, so super duper versatile, right? And get a garment out of it, a 3-skein garment. So I really hope they aren't waking up the baby up there. School starts tomorrow. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so I got those, and then the very last thing. Okay, so like I said, I decided to stop my Knit Crate subscription because I don't know. I didn't always like the yarn I got, for one, and for two, I've read in various places that they aren't as good about paying their dyers what they're worth, which it makes sense, because they have to offer the yarn cheap enough or whatever. So they have to, they can't get the yarn necessarily at full price and then turn around and try and sell it to other people, but I don't know. I just felt like there was some, I don't want to say shady business practice. Like, I don't want to diss on them. I just felt personally that I would be better off supporting a dyer directly versus through Knit Crate. Just for me personally, that is where I felt led to go. So anyway, so I already love Sweet Skein of mine. I have a lot of her yarn stash that I really need to get using, which I will also talk about in a minute. So she does a monthly mystery skein now, and so I got her last month's. It's I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry. Anyway, so I got her mystery skein last month, and this month I got her August one, and she has September's up in her store, so make sure you go and order that. She always does put a couple extras, so she has some of this in her shop right now too. This is called Rusty Hinges, and it's 75/25 superwash merino nylon, 463 yards in the big one, and then 93 yards in the mini for the accent. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guess what word I'm gonna use to describe the speckles. And I'm also gonna let you guess whether or not I absolutely love it. So yeah. So there's that. That's all of my knitting and yarny content, but I want to give you a heads up about a couple things that I've got going on coming up. So I don't think it's gonna happen for this episode. I could be wrong, and if I am, surprise! I wish that I had known ahead of time so I could introduce at the beginning of the episode, but I am going to start having my episodes interpreted into American Sign Language. So what's going to happen is I will just record my podcast as normal, and I will send it to an interpreter who will interpret it on video, and then send the video to me, and I will inset it right there. And that way, those who are deaf and hard of hearing will have access to my podcast to be able to see what's going on in the most efficient way possible. Because I have looked into ways to closed caption my episodes, and it's just not realistic for me to use them because they require me to almost go through and type out my entire episode. And I just don't have, I mean, I got 4 kids, I got laundry mountain, I got dishes mountain, there's crumbs on the floor. I don't have time to type out, 45 minutes of content. That's not realistic for me. So I reached out in various platforms to somebody who would be able to translate for me. And after probably about a month of looking, my very good friend who I love so much, Mariah of Beauty Mark Yarn, was helping me on my search, and got a hold of somebody who was willing to do that for me. So it's kind of in the planning beginning stages right now. So I'm hoping by next time I will be able to have a translator. So I'm very excited about that. I can't even tell you, I almost cried when I got a message from the interpreter, and it's just I'm really excited. So there's that. The other thing is I did start a Ravelry group. There's basically nothing in there right now except an intro thread. Feel free to join. Super excited about that. But in a couple of weeks, I am going to be starting a cow. And so I am giving you a heads up on this because there are some prerequisites that I want to give everybody time to get together. So it's going to be a Make 9/Q cow. like Ravelry Q. And so the idea is to, like, we have all these projects that we want to knit, and we've been meaning to knit, and in the case of Make 9 Likes, purposefully put out there that this is something I'm going to accomplish this year. And I have a couple of sizable projects that I haven't cast on yet. I have the yarn, they're in a bag, ready to go, but I haven't cast them on. So, episode 10 is the episode that I'm going to launch that. But the reason I am doing now is because, like I said, the prerequisite is that it needs to be a project from your Make 9 or from your Ravelry Q. So, if you do not have a Make 9, if you didn't make a Make 9 in January, that's fine. You can use your Ravelry Q, but it needs to be in your queue before you join the cow. And in the thread, you're gonna post a screenshot of your queue or your Make 9, and then that is gonna be like your entry, and then it's gonna run through the end of the year. So if you're making a sweater or whatever, you're gonna have a few months to get it done. So it'll be about half of September, then October, November, December. I think that's, not too bad for a sweater. So yeah, and you can enter as many times as you want, but all your projects have to be part of your Make 9 or a Q. So if it's a sock, I had some socks on my Make 9 that I wanted to accomplish, that's fine. Shawl, sweater, any project, and it doesn't have to be knitting either. If you want to do crochet, that's fine. But yeah, so if you need to get something into your queue that you've been meaning to make, but you just need to have it in your queue for the technicality or whatever, this gives you a couple weeks to get that done before the whole thing starts. And I'm gonna start getting hold of a couple of dyer friends for prizes. I'll probably do, since I'm allowing everything from socks to sweaters to shawls, I'll probably do like a sock / hat prize, and then like a sweater / shawl prize, just to make sure that everybody's got a fair chance. So I will have some more info on that at a later episode. But yeah, that's just something that I wanted to make sure, like if I announced it, which I guess you could put it in your queue like right before you join the cow or whatever. That gives you time to think about what you really want to make and make it with some intention, instead of just throwing something in your queue and then being like, well, I really wish that I had chosen something else. So I don't know. Anyway, I overthink everything. So anyway, so I think that's it. Please, if you're feeling frogging, you want to cast on something new, join the Shawl Cow with my friend Sophia from The Drunk Knitter. Oh, I forgot to tell the story. So the proceeds go to an organization that supports women who have lost infants either in pregnancy or just shortly postpartum. And she had a miscarriage, and something that's very dear to my heart. I personally have never experienced loss, the loss of a baby at any stage. But when I was pregnant, well, actually all 3 times I was pregnant with a friend who then lost the baby. But when I was pregnant with my youngest, I had 2 friends lose their babies within 2 months of their due date, they were due around the same time as me. So I'm, 7-8 months pregnant, and my two of my very closest friends both miscarried, and I attended one of the funerals, which was very, very hard. And it got to the point where I have anxiety, and I always have a tendency to worry about losing my baby, even though it's not something I've ever, it just is extra real. It gets extra real when you're expecting and your best friend loses her baby and you're due at the same time. So the last couple of months of my pregnancy was very hard. I was borderline suicidal and very anxious and very sick with worry. And so, it means everything to me to be able to support mothers who have gone through that, because it affected me that deeply, just being close to them. I could never begin to say that I understand what it is like to lose your baby. And all I can do is whatever I can find to do to support women and families through those times. And so this organization that she's donating to, and frankly just getting the discussion out there, because miscarriage especially is something that we just kind of skirt around, and I don't think that's doing anybody any favors. I think acknowledging that that baby was real, and that that baby was a real life that had value and deserves to be celebrated and spoken about is the way to go. So I'm really happy to help get that conversation out there, and kind of remove some of the shame, stigma, whatever you want to call it, around losing your baby through miscarriage or SIDS or whatever. The same mom who lost her baby while we were pregnant had already lost a baby to SIDS. So that is just so much tragedy. And I don't think she watches the podcast. I hope she doesn't. I don't want to ruin the surprise. The shawl that I'm knitting is going to be a gift for her. So that will be very nice. She can knit, but I don't think she knits much. I did buy a copy of the pattern and gifted to my other friend who lost her baby while we were pregnant. And then I'm knitting it as a gift for the other one. So, yeah. It always gets super heavy at some point. So there you go. There's your... Oh my goodness, this is a lighthearted podcast, and all of a sudden it's talking about some deep stuff. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't bring people down. But I gotta be real. People live with this stuff every day, and it doesn't do anybody any good to pretend like it doesn't exist. So yeah, I just want to do all I can do to support those people and let them know you're not alone, and you don't have to just keep quiet and shove all that baggage in the corner. It might feel uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It's a necessary discomfort. And yeah, I don't mind being in that space to support somebody for a little bit. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Get those cues ready and take a look at your Make 9, see what looks good, and yeah, have a good week. Bye. Bye.